Second half here in Indianapolis. Beautiful day outside as Nebraska leads Ohio State 31-28. Winner gets Michigan in the semifinal tomorrow. Two night games still to come here on this March the 14th, which is known as Pi Day because of the mathematical formula pi. Aaron Kraft knows pi by heart. Here's an example, and he was not prompted. Nothing helping him here.
3.1415926535897932384279 and that is extremely accurate. I don't even think you have to check that. But
Ohio State put out that video, and we had him do that for us a few weeks ago, and he rattled it off. Pi goes on and on and on to infinity, and that's a little bit of the intelligence to go with the basketball of Aaron Kraft.
You know pi, now you got no jump shot. He needs to make a jump shot or two in this game. He really does. Their offense kind of stagnant, and teams are playing back off into the lane, so top of the key jump shot. If Ohio State's going to win, he's going to hit one of these in the half. But that was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Dan was pointing out, for those of you who don't remember mathematically, 3.14, 159, and so on, as Kraft gave you. Pi, the irrational transcendental number that continues infinitely without repetition or pattern. Thus, the ability to memorize it that long becomes more impressive. Petaway back on the floor after the 2 fouls in the first half, fouled on his drive to the basket, and earned some early free throws.
I got Mississippi, M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. That's all I got.
That's where it stopped for you?
That's all.
As Petaway goes to the line here for 2 free throws, we check in with Allison.
Well, Mike, talking to Thad Matta at the half, he said we went colorblind out there. All that red and white seemed to confuse the Buckeyes a bit, turning the ball over 9 times. Ball security was what he was preaching at the half. They have to do a better job of that here.
You know, defensively, Nebraska out Ohio State with 6 turnovers, most of them caused because of help from the perimeter. That's Ohio State state.
And Allison talked about those turnovers, and the number 9, 11.1 is the average for Ohio State in Big Ten games this year. Ty Webster gets the start at point guard, injured in the first half. Benny Parker should be back, as we saw late first half. As we go through the second, beautiful take. Petaway just got too far away from the rim to spoon it off and in. Kraft on the take. Cannot finish, and inside, fighting for it, Williams is fouled. So the tight game here. We've had tight games throughout. Largest double digits. Went back this morning looking at the scores in those early games. Everything in the 60s, very tight games. And one-pointer at the end with Michigan and Illinois, the closest one we've had, along with the Purdue-Ohio State game yesterday.
Yeah, and Indiana's game wasn't a 10-point game. It ended up being. But that was in the 5-point.
That's right, yep.
I like what Ohio State did there. Aaron Kraft just took off and went to the rim. I mean, they've got to generate offense somewhere, and that driving to the basket opens up things for Williams.
Ohio State is 70% free throw shooting team. Pitchford on the drive, lost it, but on the gather, the foul committed as Rivers was going to the basket. That'd be 3 on Williams if it's Amir.
You know, Coach Knight, his staple as a broadcaster is to talk about the shot fake, and you know, people react to that however they choose to react to it. But man, in this tournament, show me a guy with a good shot fake, and I'm going to show you a guy with good offense. Because every time somebody has lifted up, shown the ball, and the way you shot fake is you show the ball over your head, you keep your rear end down, and then you go. It's been dynamite, and Rivers did it there.
3 fouls on Amir Williams to Trey McDonald. Comes to get the junior from Birmingham, Michigan's Country Day High School.
Shane Battier, Chris Webber, the whole Webber family. I'm missing a ton because
Country Day.
Kurt Keener has built a heck of a program at Country Day.
An Ohio State lead, Dan, for most of the way, but now it's 6 for Nebraska. And on the turnover again, Shields going all the way to the basket. Petaway hit the deck behind the play, and now Ohio State has numbers. Thompson. That was tough by Ty Webster, standing there knowing takeoff. Thompson's ready down the runway to go at it.
Lucky for Webster, he was way outside the arc, so not even Sam Thompson could go up and load up over him.
3 on Webster. So we'll get Benny Parker back in for Nebraska.
I don't think that hurts Nebraska. In fact, I think that helps Nebraska. I think Benny Parker has been fearless, and he's been the kind of guy that's going to make plays for others.
The Ohio State fans got to be getting frustrated now, Dan. It's 10 turnovers. They're almost at their average. They're 3 of 8 from the line. They can't afford to give away point opportunities because they don't score it easily enough.
That's exactly right. And Mike, they're 2 for 22 in threes in this tournament. They've missed their last 5 free throws.
Wow.
That's a deadly combination.
And Thad Matta just kind of leaned back on the scores table, looked up at the rafters here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Away from the play, Lenzel Smith was trailing Petaway, and he was grabbing him along the way. Foul on Smith. I'm talking to the Ohio State coaching staff. They play these grinded games in part because of their offensive inabilities to shoot from the outside and get a bunch of quick, easy points. And they've become comfortable and good at playing these type of games over the last few weeks. Pitch to Rivers, contested by Kraft, and Rivers knocks it down, and now it's an 8-point Nebraska lead.
Well, Mike, you said it, contested by Kraft. That was a tough shot.
Tim Miles looked over at the Cornhusker fans, said, get up and cheer. And Thad Matta says, timeout. A 16-point swing last 8.5 minutes from down 8. Now Nebraska is up 8. Take a look at today's Fresh Take, which is brought to you by Subway. And it's the freshness of beating top 10 teams for Nebraska. They'd only done it 3 times in school history and did it twice this year, including last Sunday against Wisconsin at their new arena, open this year, Pinnacle Bank. It was a sensational scene. Nobody sat down the entire game. 15,000 people on their feet, stormed the court at the end of the game, has added to this great energy around this program in their 3rd year here in the Big Ten. Quentin Ross protects and connects. Important hoop from the Buckeyes out of that timeout.
Smart just to go to your best offensive player, let him figure it out. Mike, you and I have been so lucky to call games in the environments in the Big Ten.
Pittsburgh missed the 3.
I don't think there was any better than that. None. That Nebraska, it shows up well on TV. The fans are losing their mind. He's got to look at the bucket.
Who, Kraft?
Yeah, he's got to knock one in from the top of the key.
3 seconds on McDonald. Turned it over again. Allison, what do you hear in the Buckeye huddle?
Thad Matta absolutely unleashed on his entire team, really let him hear it. He said, you guys are acting like you don't care out there. You got to give me some fight. Nebraska's doing whatever they want. You cannot make them better than they are. You have to give me some fight.
He's right. He's absolutely right. I mean, Nebraska is a comfortable basketball team on both ends of the floor. Very comfortable offensively and very comfortable on the defensive end. Look at that. Just take one dribble right, one of the best scorers in the conference, and knock it in.
Petaway scored 18.5 a game against Big Ten opponents. He's got 10. Cornhuskers up 8, trying to get to the Wolverines in the conference semifinals of the tournament tomorrow afternoon here in Indianapolis.
He's going to have to knock one in. Kraft is.
Taking it to the basket, couldn't spin it in. Saved successfully by Shields. He's okay. Want to make sure he's all right out of there. Kraft 0 for 5 from the field.
One jump shot. The rest have been layups.
Petaway got bumped on the outside, and on the way to the goal, it's going to be a pre-shot foul.
Mike, you know, I mentioned comfort. So how do you make a team uncomfortable? And one of the ways you make a team uncomfortable is you play for 1 or 2 possessions where you're in straight denial defense. Ball, you, man, and not let guys make easy catches. Petaway can get it wherever he wants, whenever he wants, as can Shields. You have to go 1 or 2 possessions where you play deny.
Dan, you saw Lenzel Smith Jr. come out for Ohio State. He just picked up his 3rd foul. Smith and Sam Thompson come to the bench. Parker steps into a mid-range jumper. And the first double-digit lead of the day belongs to Nebraska.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Just too easy.
Della Valle in for some outside shooting with Quentin Ross. Kraft off the curl. Nice find of McDonald. Went for the hammer dunk, but Shields was there. Petaway on the push. Petaway all the way.
Oh, man.
12-point Nebraska lead.
Was that sweet? Took it coast to coast. Little step around. Wow.
Ohio State cannot get in big offensive holes. They just can't score it easily enough.
Yeah.
Other way, offensive foul. Jim Burr all over it. LeQuentin Ross cleared, and a technical foul is called on Ross. Ross was unhappy with the foul call, and he picked up the technical foul. One official had the foul call, and behind the play, as Ross got upset, the trail officials saw it, and it was an easy call for the team.
It's a good call by Jim Burr with the push-off, and then you see the grab by Pitchford, and Ross been doing this too much.
Ohio State being outplayed, frustrated. LeQuentin Ross has let that frustration boil over a bit too often here in the last month of the season. Picks up a dead ball technical. It's a player control foul with a clear out of the arm. So that's Nebraska ball side out, and then the pushback on Pitchford is a dead ball contact technical foul. You see Ohio State assistant coach Jeff Bowles out there quickly to come get Ross from more trouble. But Dan, as you alluded to going to break, this has been too often from a guy who needs to be one of the leaders on this team.
He has to be. He's the only guy really with natural offensive instincts. He got ejected against Northwestern for punching with a closed hand, Nicholas Cerna. And then against Indiana, got a late technical, 4.5 or 4 minutes to go in the game, shoved off Austin Etherington. You just, I don't care how frustrated you are, you can't do that.
This can become a 4 or 5 point possession as it's 2 for Petaway and then the ball for Nebraska. And he makes the 2 Allison, and now the lead is 14.
Mike, you could not have 2 huddles on more opposite ends of the spectrum. Nebraska, they are loose. They are having fun. They're even saying it in the huddle. This is fun. This is why you play. Ohio State, they are frustrated. They are angry. They are uptight. They could not be more opposite vibes in each huddle.
Yeah, you can see it too in body language. Right from the end of that first half, Allison, and on through the start here of the second half. You can see it in Tim Hiles' interview. He said our guys were playing a little bit nervous. 3 on the deck. It deflects out of bounds last off Nebraska. And it'll be Ohio State ball. Just to do one more piece of business here. The foul on Ross, the offensive foul, and then the technical counts as a personal, so that's 2 on Ross. And the team has 6 fouls here with 14:39 to go, which doesn't help you trying to come back out of a double-digit hole.
No, not at all, particularly against a driving team.
Yeah, good point. Ross with purpose goes across. McDonald trying to push it back. Nebraska's thick and long at the rim. You don't get a lot of second chance points against this team.
No, they challenge everything at the rim. They rebound at the rim. They challenge lobs. They challenge everything.
That take by Parker, and the lead is 16. Nebraska closed the half on a 19-8 run, and now 15-2 to start this second half. Della Valley put it on the deck. And Ohio State can't get the shots around the rim to go.
No, they're just hoping. They're just hoping to make when they go to the rim like that. You know, McDonald hoped to make. Della Valley hoped to make.
Petaway. He got the board, too. Blocked inside by McDonald for the foul. And that'll put Ohio State over the limit with 2/3 of the half still to go.
That might have moved 2 of the last 3 possessions. Aaron Kraft onto Petaway. One time he got the strip and the steal. That time Petaway went right at him. Got a little off balance, but made a play. You know, here's the problem for Ohio State. You look down that bench and you say, okay, where are we going to get offense from? Sam Thompson, maybe in transition. Lenzel Smith III, maybe on a step-up 3, but there really isn't anywhere to go. Mark Loving was a kid that I thought, you know, was going to come on and be that, but he has not developed to where he can be trusted this time of the year. Now, on the other end, it's like everybody from Nebraska's coming in and contributing. Again, it's part of what Allison said about the difference in the teams.
12-0 run, hand check called on Benny Parker. So the backup point picks up his 3rd foul for Nebraska. You know, building a program is so hard, especially at the, quote, football schools. We talked about that with Penn State yesterday. And that's been the Nebraska pull for a long time. Plus, where do you find the players in your natural geographic area? And the hopes were from Nebraska getting into the Big Ten, that coming towards the east as Ross hits a 3, knocks it down to 15. that would open up some more pipelines for Nebraska to play. Well, they've done, because the financial riches football has brought them over the years, they built elite facilities, have hired the right guy, the arena at home, and the transfers that have come in and the players who have developed under Miles here. That is the ingredients right now to get this team rolling into a position that's surprising a lot of folks. Here they've given up 3 points in the foul on the turnover.
A football school, a quote-unquote football school, should have a good basketball program, because there's nothing more fun to bring a recruit into than a massive football weekend where you see how enthused the fans are. And now you add, being able to show, look what happened during our Wisconsin game. Look at how our facility, it's a sleeping giant that's been awakened by Tim Miles.
I was talking to Kevin Kugler, who does play-by-play on Big Ten Network. He broadcast that game, and Kevin was telling me, he said, people were outside 3 hours before the game. They were just ready to go. Amir Williams, who is having his arm hooked there by Pittsford, and Ohio State trying to grind back in this one here.
Make no mistake, Nebraska people will show up 3 hours or 5 hours before a game, but it's always a football game. It's not
right, exactly.
Football game. So they're dying for a party, but
they've traditionally traveled well. Their numbers here are low,
yeah.
but I would get the sense a year like this is going to start a Nebraska contingent planning on being at the Big Ten tournament, especially in Chicago next year.
If I was a college student, this win, if they get it, would say road trip to me.
Shields on the floor foul, no basket. Jim Burr had the call on the floor. And Ross has come out focused here after the technical problem that he had a moment ago.
Yeah, and that's why, and this is a pretty good call, but that's why you don't take him out. I mean, you don't have any options, but, Ross knew what he did was wrong. They explained it to him, and his choice. How's he want to go about it? He's chosen to be focused.
Third foul on Shields, 6 on Nebraska. Beautiful spin move, and Ross finishes strong. 5 in a row, Ohio State. And they can dig in on the defensive end. That's what makes their money for them. So let's see what they do here. Try to get back in this game. Try to get it under 10 at the 10. Getaway double, pitched it out to Leslie Smith. Big man spun in the lane, knocked away by Williams. Della Valle on his horse, all the way home. Amadeo Della Valle. And Della Valle swatted the ball after he came back through on this 7-0 run. So it's a delay of game warning on Ohio State, a timeout. And a big smile for Thad Mott and Della Valle, who took that ball and went baseline to baseline. Nebraska big with this 7-0 run by Ohio State, getting them back in it here mid-second half. Over the next 70 hours or so as we work towards Selection Sunday, the committee has been working diligently all year. Steal, Della Valle, inside reverse layup. 9 in a row, Ohio State. And a lead that was 18 is very quickly down to 9. Out of the timeout, they came with full court pressure, Dan.
And you said it, Mike. They can get hot. They can play defensively.
Good call. Great call. Moving screen called on Leslie Smith.
This isn't Ohio State's first rodeo playing. Now this is Nebraska's with the kind of pressure that's on them being a 4 seed. There's a little more expectation. So everybody knows Ohio State's not going away, but they found some offense for Della Valle.
Ross getting hot too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Couldn't make that one. Rebounded by Nebraska and in the hands of Teran Petaway, the Texas Tech transfer. First team all-league this year. Petaway with 16.
So easy.
Add to that.
So easy. Just go away from the ball screen. You got to force him to the ball screen, then you got to trap him and get it out of his hands. But he beats you away from the ball screen, gets some space. It's over.
18 for Petaway. Shannon Scott rattles in a 3. Only hit 10 of those in the 18 Big Ten games this year.
That's a big-time shot. That's a big-time shot. Missed that, and the momentum's gone. There you go. You trap him, get it out of his hands.
Good call, Coach. Walter Pitchford with the jumper.
Oh, he shoots it nice at 6'11", 6'10", whatever he is. That was pretty good. A little shot fake, ball fake, one dribble. That's got to be a foul.
Scott protected it there, got inside, he'll come to the line.
All right, let me ask you, Mike. You see the NBA all the time. You're looking at Pittsburgh right there. Could he be an NBA guy because of the way he shoots it with his length and size?
He's 6'10". Yeah. He's a sophomore. He went through that off-season after the transfer from Florida and really got stronger. He benches 300s, brought the body fat down to just under 8, got a 42-inch vertical, and that ability to touch. That pick and pop guy is so essential as a role player off the bench. So in a couple of years, it's a possibility.
I think so. Tim Miles told me he wanted to come to Nebraska, but he didn't want a redshirt. He wanted to get a waiver. And Tim Miles said, hey, look, here's a letter. You want to come? Fine. But you're coming here and you're sitting out of here because you need it.
Trying to save it over there by the bench area. It's loose. Dug out by Kraft. The foul was on Shields. It's his 4th. So a big player's out of the game for the moment. Scott to the basket. Going the other way. Offensive foul. The Pittsford, who was diving into the Ohio State bench a moment ago, back inside and drawing the contact. Again, it's on the gather. As he gathers to go up, 35 still sliding.
That's tough. No, I thought you were sliding up underneath him. But look at this. To get the ball in bounds is not easy against Ohio State.
It's the Ohio State game. At what point will we say they're the hardest team to inbound the ball in the country? 10-22 second half. 52-43. Nebraska with the lead. Had to burn another timeout because they couldn't get it inbounds. Teran Petaway. Proven why he's a first-team all-leaguer.
You got to double him up. Look at how easy he does. I mean, that's just easy. I think you said smooth, and it's certainly right. This is 6'7", 6'8", dribbling the length of the floor, chin on the rim. And now away from the ball screen. You cannot let him go away. You have to force him to people. When a guy goes away from the ball screen, he has room. You have to force him to the ball screen, trap him, and not let him get the touch.
Problems again here, Dan. Ohio State. Tough to get it inbounds, extend the defense, but Quentin Ross commits the foul here in the backcourt. Going to be his 3rd. Thad Matta doesn't like it.
Thad Matta doesn't like the call, but he's got to like the fight.
The hit on the right arm forced the ball out. That wasn't where the foul was called. Then the foul was called on the touch on the side.
That's part amusement. Part I want to stab you.
Only in a coaching officiating way. Short.
Yes.
On the 1-and-1 was Rivers, who's been infrequent at the line, only averaging 1 free throw attempt per game in conference play. Number is back at 9. Manageable. Della Valley wanted it in the corner. And here's a foul called on Parker of Nebraska. That's going to be his 4th.
Same thing, Mike. Remember we talked about Stauskas against a smaller guy getting low on his dribble? That's exactly what Ross did right there. He got as low as Parker and forced a foul with the armbar. Don't raise up against taller kids or smaller kids. Go down to their level when you're dribbling and then raise up.
There's a lot of good people with a lot of fouls. Both teams have committed 9, so the second half is going to be a free throw parade. Ohio State's free throw shooting has been poor here today, and here's another Buckeye foul. Ohio State 5 of 13 at the line. Della Valley giving that one. Just 2 on Amadeo. Couple here for Petaway. Story of his transfer season, highlighted by Tim Miles, relaying the anecdote that Petaway's working so hard, she said, on his game, on his academics, on his body, in the transfer season from Texas Tech. And he just felt like the kid was burning out. So he's like, you got to stay away. Stay away for a couple days. So he stays away for a day, and they don't see him. And come to find out through the managers and the network of friends within the basketball program that he's over at a local gym getting his shots up. Because they said, get out of the practice facility. He did. He went somewhere else. Ross missed the 3. Kraft coming in to get it. Keep the trip alive. Tee up Scott. And pass inside. Turned over one more time. 14 now for OSU.
That's Amir Williams is just letting your teammate down. Aaron Kraft came out of nowhere, got a steal, tried to find Scott for a shot. Scott didn't take it, and he throws it into Williams, and that's just letting your teammate down. That's just not being as ready as him.
Stolen. Kraft inside. Couldn't finish. Ross gets fouled. Dan, they don't have enough right now in variety of trying to get open on the inbounds.
No.
They've run the same stuff 3 times, and Ohio State's got it shut down.
And it's all coming towards the ball.
Right.
You know, you have a son who goes to basketball camp. When they're little, the guy dribbling, everyone's running to the ball to chase it. And that's what's happening on this inbounds. You have to spread the floor, create some room, change direction, particularly Gallegos, who's a good quick change athletic kid.
One on Rivers. John's been showing you the action over there in the ACC tournament. We'll stay updated on that. That action continues tonight.
Boy.
Over here on ESPN. Ohio State now 6 of 15 at the line. Even if they make 4 more, they're shooting just below their average. It's a 5-point game. Very different looking thing.
Definitely not as comfortable right now, Nebraska. And the full court press, now the key for Ohio State, don't foul.
And Parker being on the bench with 4, the offense not running as crispy, and Ty Webster in there. Takes the shot and misses. Good fly to the rebound, but Ray Gallegos couldn't collect it. Back the other way comes Scott for Ohio State. Ross joining the play, playing with a purpose, lays it in. Down to 7.
Where do you find offense? You don't slow it down. You reverse it and you attack, and that's exactly what Ohio State did right there.
11 of the 19 for Ross in this second half. Pitchford, shot fake, step back.
Oh, man. How good was that? He lost Williams by 7-8 feet?
Yes, yes.
With the shot fake where he showed the ball. I thought he was launching.
At 6'10", a little shot fake, half escape dribble. Easy. With comfort. A good call.
That guy's gotten so much better.
Shannon Scott for another 3. It's off. Della Valle came down to get it. Well, he got
how big is he?
Steamrolled as he hit it. Knock it down. He deserved that for his hustle, but he missed.
He's been big time, Della Valle. He's changed this game around.
Pitchford telling the Gallegos, go, get it across midcourt. Time is running down. Pitchford free on the lob, but he couldn't finish. Other way, Ross, and 1. That's a 5-point swing. If he can knock down the free throw.
A little softer lob. I don't think Pittsburgh was really trying to showboat here. I just think he kind of mistimed it a little bit, and then down the other end. Don't slow it down. Go right at the rim. Pretty good strength by LaQuinton Ross.
There's managers, coaches. When we come knock on everybody's door, and everybody's more than hospitable and helpful wherever you are, and we just want to take a moment here to say thank you for another great season here in the Big Ten.
And they all go out of their way for us. You know, anything you need, they do. Sports information directors, as you said, is great. Everybody, thank you.
Full court pressure. Nebraska's having problems getting it in. And it's a 5-second count. Nebraska cannot get the ball inbounds, and that is what Ohio State is great at.
Like 5 guys from the free throw line down. There's a lot of court. But if you limit your area, Ohio State too good at face guarding and switching.
This was an 18-point game at the 13:30 mark. Ohio State can make it a 3-point game in 6 minutes if they can knock a 3 down here. Thompson. Oh, short on the rim.
Good move by Tim Miles. Went to the 2-3 zone right there. Took away the drive. Thompson got a little impatient.
22 for the Quentin Ross, 14 in this second half. Petaway pacing Nebraska with 20.
I don't like this matchup, Mike. I know Scott's a good defender, but Kraft has done a terrific job on Petaway for the last 5 minutes.
Kraft only with 1 personal foul. Petaway from the top with the take. He's short. Della Valle's giving him nice minutes. Amadeo with the rebound. Got 5 points, 4 boards. Ross Rimmed out to three. Kraft on the glass. That's his first field goal. Buckeyes within 4.
Oh, man. Just a little bit of a missed time. Kraft timed it perfectly and got it to go. Hey, if you're Nebraska, you've got to figure out Pitchford for a jump shot. There's nowhere to go on the block. It's got to be Pitchford or Petaway.
It's going to be Webster from deep. He's off. Rebound by Ross.
Terrible shot. Terrible shot last 2 possessions.
Just his second one. Ross feeling it. Put it on the deck. Go to the basket. And it's going to be the other way. It's going to be an offensive foul on Ross. So that'll be his 4th. 3 plus the 1 technical.
Second time, Pitchford in the right spot at the right time. Watch here. He's seeing the ball. That's charge. That's a great play by Pitchford. You know, when I say see the ball, you have to have your head on the swivel. And he saw the ball, saw his man. Now a little more spread. But look, everybody's running to the ball right here.
And they've got to burn another timeout. They are down to 2. Nobody's open. He reads his lip. Nobody's open there. We've talked about this all year, but just to remind everybody, maybe wasn't with us on the Tuesdays, why is Ohio State better than most in terms of denying an inbounds pass from the baseline?
They're quick, and they have, you know, defensive-minded guards, but they work on it. They work on inbound defense harder than any team I have ever seen. Thad Matta makes it a priority. They switch, and if you watch how they play the initial movement, particularly Shannon Scott, number 3, he's like in a defensive stance with his back to the ball, ready to pick up. He's a center fielder, free safety, whatever you want to say. Now they moved him back a little bit because his man Parker is back, but watch Kraft and Delaba. They just face guard.
And that time they created space,
right,
and they just used the ability of Petaway. Just run at me and get away. I can just lob one to you.
2 guys are up there instead of 5.
Now Kraft all over Petaway. Fans want the call against Kraft. How many times has that been said in the Big Ten? Shot knocked down by Rivers in the corner. Good possession, Nebraska.
What a good pass, too, by Pitchford. On the road, on the move, 6'10", finding Rivers. 2-3 zone. I'm telling you, top of the key, it's got to be Kraft at some point.
On dribble penetration. Foul on Petaway. Man, there are a lot of fouls in this game. 39 of them in all.
What? I can tell you why. I mean, I can walk out here and see who the officials are and tell you where there's going to be a lot of fouls.
But no, you know what? These teams have played very physically.
These teams have driven the ball.
Yes,
yeah,
and there's
no
a lot of
doubt.
contact going on.
No doubt. And I don't think they've made bad calls.
Yeah, Jim Burr might be hurt. He might have hurt his right knee there for a moment. We're looking over there at Jim, the veteran official, as he's taking a moment here with his knee. Larry Sirotto is the standby official. We have all these officials who are here to work these tournament games. And Larry's over on the opposite side watching at the scorer's table. And the first one's missed by Della Valle. There's Larry.
Just tell Burr to give me the jersey. Let's go.
Yeah.
Boy,
Della Valle, normally a good shooter. It misses, and that's 7 of 18 at the line for Ohio State. And Jim Burr just told Larry Sirotto to get ready. So Jim may come out here after this next stoppage in play.
Larry's getting up.
Get stretched, get loose, get ready. Right away, hounded by Kraft, trying to get away from Aaron. Those tremendously quick feet. Good screen set, but the help by Scott takes it away. Scott with Kraft. Gets the basket. And there was a bump from behind on Kraft, too. Should have been an N1.
Could have been a foul.
Yeah. Or separate foul.
Yeah, yes. Separate foul, absolutely. Petaway just knocked Kraft out. That was great defense by Aaron Kraft. Unbelievable defense by Aaron Kraft.
4-point game, 4:45. Shields can't get it. Bounce off the head of Smith to Kraft. Scott thought about the 3. Great find, Thompson! 2-point game. Nebraska timeout. Well, they didn't see it. Miles calling for the timeout. His team didn't see it. Now he's going to get one here as they get across midcourt. Timeout taken by Nebraska.
Aaron Kraft's been doing this his whole life. If you don't like Aaron Kraft, that's on you. Aaron Kraft and Scott. Look at the tip between the legs. Now watch the bump right there. That could have been an intentional foul.
Sure could have.
But Aaron Kraft with Scott, watch right, that's intentional.
Yep.
Referees missed that one. But Aaron Kraft and Scott just got all over Petaway, causing turnovers.
We're going to see a lot of, they're continuing to look at Jim Burrow over here, trying to make a decision if he's going to continue or Larry Sorota's going to hop in. And Rick Boyages, who's the Associate Commissioner for Basketball for the Big Ten, and handles the officials in the conversation over there. See if Jim will keep going, as he injured his knee a moment ago. You know, you talk about Aaron Kraft, people get frustrated that more fouls aren't called against him. Jim's going to leave, and Larry will step in now for the remainder of this game. I think we admire and appreciate the work of Seth Davis, Sports Illustrated, CBS as well. Written a nice book on John Wooden. Seth tweeted this last week when people were tweeting about Aaron Kraft as they were watching the Michigan State-Ohio State game. I'm going to quote Seth's tweet. I can see why people hate Aaron Kraft. He plays hard, he plays smart, he's a great student, has passion, has faith, performs community service, and wins. And amen.
What I've been saying.
It's what we've been saying the whole time. And you understand, because it reminds me of Wojo, Steve Wojciechowski from Duke. He was on TV constantly for 4 years on a high-profile program that always played tenacious defender. You want him on your team, but he's a pest, he's annoying, and that's a compliment when it's one of your guys. And it's been a pleasure to watch a guy like Kraft and cover him. Pittsburgh from the top. That's the shot you've been calling for.
That's what I'm telling you. That's the guy that's rolling right now. He's the comfort guy. Mike, Tom Izzo said it was an honor to coach against Aaron Kraft. That's enough for me. So let the 18-year-olds on Twitter kill us. Fine.
Lenzel Smith Jr. couldn't knock down the three. Good rebound by Rivers. Don't think this is great for Nebraska.
Absolutely.
They're a target. They're wearing the white uniforms at a neutral site. That means you're the hired seed. You're the better team. This is new water for these guys. Great experience. Shannon Scott deflects it to come back court.
You and I have been talking about it for 2 days, building a program. Well, this is part of the building of a program. Playing in games like this against a team like Ohio State.
Block and 5. Parker on the take. Della Valle the block. Collected by Rivers, but taken away. Della Valle.
Is he playing?
Playing with his heart today. Kraft drives, contact, foul call on the outside as we hit the timeout. 3:17 to go. It was an 18-point lead one way. Thad Mott and his team crawling back in this one. We have the one-on-one update here, Dan.
Well, Quentin Ross and Della Valle have ignited this comeback, and Ross doing it immediately. He had 5 straight when they got down 18. And then Terran Petaway, he's been struggling, not struggling, he's been uncomfortable and hasn't been able to get a look here in the last few minutes. But he will. Look at, watch Kraft. See how his back is right there? They face guard and make it very difficult, make you run up on them.
Shields and Parker for Nebraska, each playing with 4 fouls.
My key
Ross
is,
for Ohio State playing with 4 fouls.
I was just going to say, the key here is don't foul. Put pressure without fouling, because they just called a foul down here on a touch. Tim Miles got Mike Sanzir over there. They had a discussion, and you knew they were going to call a foul if there was any contact at all. It was a good call, but you knew they were going to call it, so you've got to be cognizant of the game.
Double bonus rest of the way, as you see, with that bonus plus under the score for each team. Siobhan Shields' offensive performance limited a bit because of the foul trouble. He's in double digits, 10.6 rebounds. Nebraska by 5. Winner gets Michigan in the semifinal. Just joining us, Wolverines survived a late layup attempt by Tracy Abrams and beat Illinois by 1. Look, Quentin Ross knows. Scott flying high, got the rebound. Della Valle, will he launch? Yes, he will. Knocks down a 3. Timeout, Ohio State.
How big has he been? How big is that kid right there? Ben, in this game, we said, look on the bench, who you going to get offense from? Him. Who are you going to get defense from? Him. Who are you going to get cardboard cutouts? Him. This is deep, Mike.
Really solid, really good shooter. We saw him last year. He was even skinnier. Really spent time around the program, getting a little stronger, and then went to Italy, that summer experience on the U20 team. And that helped his confidence. When he played well earlier this year and hit a couple of shots, because they had to go to somebody to make a shot. he'd come in, he'd get the ball, he'd go like a crazy man. He'd just drive like out of control. And they were concerned about him keeping control, but he had a play earlier in this half where he got the ball and just went.
Yeah.
And he got the basket.
Yes.
And that gave Ohio State a little bit of juice because they started to set up their press after that.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally. And the other reason it's important for Ohio State not to foul is because you want to get in transition. Ohio State's been very good in transition. Now, I'm telling you, Pittsford, foul line area, Pittsford with the ball, maybe on the block against a smaller Sam Thompson.
Walter Pittsford, 35 from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Been outstanding here today, 13 points. Guarded tight by Thompson. Parker comes to get it. Got Kraft doing the defensive assignment on Petaway in the corner at the top. Shield to the tape. Find of Rivers inside. Thompson knocked it away. Shot clock running down. Petaway short. Ohio State down 18 in this half. Can tie or take the lead here at the 2-minute mark. Man, they grind to get back in the game.
Somebody's got to get in the middle, Mike.
Della Valle for three, and the lead. No, rebound, Ross, no. Scott for the foul. Foul on the Ross putback. And they'll come to the line where they have been terrible to try to even this.
3 times in this game, a running start from out on the perimeter has led to an offensive rebound by Ohio State. Kraft did it once, Scott did it once, Ross just did it right there. That zone has got to find people on the block out.
4 fouls on Petaway. Petaway, Shields, and Parker each have 4 for Nebraska. Ross to tie the game. From down 18 in the second half, Ohio State back in it. New game at 63. On their feet here in Indy. Kraft and Scott switched there. Scott's got Petaway now.
Yeah, they almost missed the switch.
That's right.
And Shields was going to be open. Pick and pop right here.
Petaway. There's the pick, the pop. Well played. It's going to be deep. It's going to be late. It's going to be Petaway. First team all-conference. Step back, take. No good. A rebound, Ross. 1:11 to go. Here come the Buckeyes for the lead.
Man, and man, this ball's got to be driven. Reversed and driven.
After Ross, put it on the deck. Contact, step through, layup, no.
Oh, is that not a foul?
It was.
Okay.
And that's Petaway, and that's his 5th. He's gone.
That's the reason he had to drive. In selling for a jump shot wasn't going to work in that case, and Ross really smart. He just took the ball after they brought it back to the top, swung it back to Ross, and made a terrific drive and put Petaway in real jeopardy.
Duran Petaway, 20 points, 6 of 14 from the field, 5 rebounds, but he's disqualified.
Mike Gallegos here late. Ohio State cannot leave him.
First time since the final minute of the first half, Ohio State in the lead. A tight one there with Dayton St. Joe's in the A-10. Great games coming down to the wire here on championship week. Ross hits both. Ohio State by 2. They want to see the Wolverines tomorrow afternoon. Career high 26 for Ross. Shields on the turn, travel.
Sped up, Mike. Aaron Kraft with Petaway out, jumped on the Shields, sped him up off the screen. When you get sped up, you make mistakes, and Shields traveled.
Bad Mata will use a timeout. Each team with 1 left. I don't want our season to end. This has been so much fun. From the first Tuesday of January all the way through. I know we speak for Allison as well. Bart Fox, Scott Johnson in the truck, our producer and director leading our terrific crew. A lot of very talented women and men who spend a lot of days on regional jets and snow-covered highways in the winter to bring Big Ten basketball to you on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. We Appreciate them. Annika, Bob, Josh, the Jasons, everybody in the truck. So many folks you don't know mean everything to us on this package. We have a lot of fun. And for the fans, we said about the Big Ten, attendance record set again in this league this year. It's been the leader in conference attendance around the country for 4 decades running. And they add to the atmospheres, and the kids put it out there on the floor. We get paid for a good seat and make fools of ourselves. It's
straight stealing.
Yeah, it is. All right, 65-63. It's been hard for Nebraska to get the ball inbounds. What defensively do they do here with an 11-second difference in the shot in the game?
You can't foul. You have to make Ohio State, somebody other than Ross, make a jump shot in this possession. You don't need to foul. You've got a 10-second, 11-second difference. But you can't do something where your arm is on them or you leave your feet and Ross can't get a shot. Absolutely cannot get a shot.
Kraft gets it across at 27. They advance it at 8 seconds. Aaron Kraft, who wants to keep his Big Ten career going.
He's been absolutely great this second half. I mean, dominant defensively.
He's got all of 4 points. A huge impact. Clock at 10. It is Kraft trying to take. Went behind the back to the basket. Kraft laid it in. 4-point game, 15 to go. It's got to be quick. Kraft went for the steal and commits a foul that gives Nebraska a chance to score with the clock stopped.
Oh, my. Oh, my. As great a play as he made on offense, that's as bad a play as he made right there. Going for the home run, the steal.
Shields. One more.
You got to block out here, Mike. Pittsford and Rivers pretty good, pretty long. And that first shot that Shields took was a little bit long.
Team is 1 timeout. Big free throw by Shields. It's 2. They'll bring Ty Webster in. Bring Shields over to the bench. And now it's got to be trap, steal, foul.
Well, Thompson can get the ball. He's got to do a sprint up here.
Della Valle's got it. He's going to be the one brought to the free throw line. Amadeo Della Valle, although a good shooter, shot only 13 free throw attempts in the real pressure games, the 16 conference games that he appeared in, 16 of the 18.
Well, he's definitely locked in, and you want a guy that's locked in going to the free throw line for you in this situation, regardless of what past history is.
He's 1 of 4 today at the line.
Yeah, but he's locked in.
I know
exactly what
you're saying. They sent the right guy to the line.
Nebraska did.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt. But Ohio State doesn't mind. Because, again, it's amazing. When you guard and when you just play tough, things like free throws, regardless of what happened in the past, go down for you.
And you know what? Now you know you got a guy who can be part of it when it gets thick next week.
Absolutely.
This is the big one to make it 2 possessions. Like he was in the practice gym in Columbus. Ohio State up 4. What can Nebraska do? Shields trying to step back and take one. Pittsford being hounded and knocked away, and a foul is called. Foul call on Kraft with 5.1 to go. 2 more free throws. All right, so 1 timeout left. Do you start thinking about, we're going to look at the call, you can decide, but do you start thinking about make the first, miss the second here, or do you have enough time to play it out?
Well, you don't have enough time to play it out.
Yeah.
But you've got to foul. You got to make these 2 foul, hope they miss one, and let's go. You got to make both.
That's what I meant by playing it out.
Yeah.
Make it foul. Because you have 1 timeout left. Miles going to take it here with 5.1 to go and see what he thinks. Usually under 2 seconds. In college, where you can't advance the ball, you start thinking about make 1, miss the second one, intentionally try to get a rebound.
Yeah, you're sitting there at a 3-point game, make this free throw, it's 2. What that means is, and this is all you can hope for right now, is you can steal the ball in the inbounds, fine, if you can do that. But they have to make 2 free throws, they being Ohio State, to seal it. Not 1, 2. And that's obviously a huge difference, because we've seen guys knock in shots from all over the place.
You know what I do here?
Tell me.
I use the loophole in college basketball where the rule must change. Make the second free throw and just foul.
I agree.
Because in college basketball, if you foul before any time runs off the clock, you just come down and shoot the free throws. It's not 1 in the ball or 2 in the ball, which is the way it must be. That's the rule. Use the loophole. Foul, and it's still 5.1, and you play the free throw game.
Totally agree. And the easiest way to do that is on a switch, jump in front of a guy, and fall down.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no, and if you have to hold him just a little bit, fine. but that's the easiest way to do it.
Because the word,
Or if you let a guy, you get behind the guy, Mike, and you let him run up, and you just grab him. Now you're intentional foul, maybe on the grab, but they're not going to call intentional foul on that in this
right?
case.
Because the intentional word has been de-emphasized in the
flagrant,
book
yes.
for flagrant, and because of that, it's made that even an easier play.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll see what the decision Miles made here with 5.1 to go. And Pitchford at the line for his second one. Rattles it in. He doesn't look very happy that he made it either.
No, in fact, Gallegos was running to the side and was going to get a 3 off of it.
And we get the foul, immediate foul. Good job.
Really good.
Yep. So the foul comes the other way.
Hey, that was
no time off the clock.
They were trying to tip it back to Gallegos on the left wing.
Did you see the body language of
Yes.
Pitchford? He's crushed that he made the free throw.
Well, but here.
Oh, man, I made it.
And Gallegos went. He looked at the coach like, we're supposed to miss.
Della Valle back at the line, made the first one. So Ohio State, remember they started 7 of 18 at the line? They have made 9 in a row.
You know why? This is going to sound ridiculous, but it's because they started playing really hard.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, people say, oh, what does one have to do with the other? I don't know. I just know that that's all the time in basketball.
Nathan Hawkins came in and out. He's the player who committed the foul.
You know, Allison had it with Thad Matta. You just got to play hard. Remember at the timeout she had listened in on the huddle and Thad was going crazy on his team to just play hard, give me something? Well, they did, and shots started going.
Hawkins is stuck in the game. He can't make the sub. Hawkins has only played 79 minutes in Big Ten play. Huge one here. Della Valle made 4 big free throws. 5.1.
Just get away.
Shields going to take it from deep. Doesn't matter. He rims it out. And Ohio State rallies from down 18. Continues its mastery of the Big Ten tournament. Aaron Crabb's Big Ten career is one more day. And one more day with the Wolverines.
You know what's cool, Mike? All his teammates, Sam Thompson, Smith Jr., McDonald, came out and just hugged, high-fived Della Valle because they knew. Everybody on Ohio State knows what he meant to this game. He meant everything.
Significant contributions from Amadeo Della Valle in that 22-point swing in the final 13 and a half minutes after Nebraska had the 48-30 lead with 13:30 to go. Got to make Thad Matta and company very happy, Allison.
Thad, you guys were down by 18 in the second half. How did you come back and win this thing?
Well, I think our guys showed a lot of heart, a lot of just toughness, and we finally started playing, and it's unfortunate we had to get down 18 points to get to that, but you know, I don't know, it's odd. We were so bad. I was just happy to see us play the way we did, and hey, guys made big plays. You know, we started moving on defense. We had 5 guys connected, and that was the biggest difference.
I heard you at one point in the second half say, just give me some fight, show me something, play harder. Did you start to see that from them later?
Yeah. I mean, I challenged them, and to their credit, they responded. And you know, Amadeo, the job he did, not only making the free throws, but defensively, his brain is very, very intelligent. And Q had some big plays, but that's a great win for us.
Coach Matta, thanks for the time.
Allison, thanks. Great having you with us on our Big Ten crew all season as well. Thad Matta improves to 21-5 in the Big Ten tournament. And Ohio State will play Michigan in the first of the 2 semifinals on Saturday afternoon. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan State, Northwestern. They play tonight on Big Ten Network. Semifinals and the finals of the Big Ten. Our friends at CBS will have that one. And this is the way the year has been in this league, top to bottom. You don't know what's going to happen night in, night out. New teams come up. Sometimes those old guys hang around as well.
Yeah, and it's been so much fun being with you, Mike. I can't even tell you. My favorite night is Monday night and Tuesday night of the week, just hanging out with you, Bart, Scott, and the rest.
Bart Scott.
And Allison.
Not Bart Scott, the linebacker, but Bart
Can't
Fox
wait.
and Scott Johnson, our producer
Yes.
director.
See, you're good with
You're
words.
priceless. Great year, brother. Thanks,
You're the
pal.
best.
With Dan Dockett, Allison Williams, our entire Big Ten team, Mike Tirico. Thanks for watching this presentation of ESPN.